We can worship God as the Divine Mother. For mother is closer than the father.
Hi, I'm being disciplined.
That means you gotta watch a movie.
Yay!
This is a wonderful film. Sure, it's racist as heck, but it was the 80s and everyone was racist. And homophobic, and sexist, and smoking. And it's set during the First World War, where white people would often be horrible to people of various cultures, races, and creeds.
Whatever creed means.
Listen, white people have never been cruel to anyone ever.
You're right. I'm a self-hating white person.
Alan Quatermain is a public domain 19th century British character who would rush around Africa and have adventures, which made him the perfect character to hang this Indiana Jones cash-in off of. They had to make some changes though. Alan's now an American, and I'm fairly sure he doesn't have a first name anymore.
Oh, Quatermain! Quatermain? Quatermain? Oh, Quatermain!
And he is a love interest too, besides Africa. And the African woman from the book, and I just had a thought. Quatermain has a relationship with a white woman in this, but in the original 19th century book had a relationship with an African woman. Is it possible that this is more racist than the book? The movie version of King Solomon's Mines is also set during World War I because that way they can have evil Germans and make them kinda like Nazis, but at the same time convince themselves that they're not ripping off Indiana Jones.
And they are, but it's okay because the film's great.
We open in a junk shop with an ancient piece of Braille pornography. This is ethnic villain number 1 and he's trying to get a doomed archaeologist to translate the statue. And for some reason he wants something a little more in depth than, I have big tits. How do I know that archaeologist is doomed? 2 reasons. 1. That same actor was in Pyramids of Mars with Tom Baker where he played a doomed archaeologist. It's his thing. And this.
My dog!
Now you will translate it, Professor.
That guy be fucked.
Ethnic villain number 2 is John Rhys Davies, taking time off from playing Salah to play evil Salah. Possibly because somewhere deep down he realises this is accidentally a better Indiana Jones movie than at least one of them. Here's Alan Quatermain, played by Richard Chamberlain. Easily the worst American Alan Quatermain because unlike John Colicos, he never tames a dinosaur. And his partner is a young Sharon Stone.
Where is this place anyway?
That way.
Then why are we going this way? The shortest distance between any 2 points is a straight line.
Miss Houston, trust me. It's a jungle out there.
That's what's so great about this film, its sense of reality about geography. Right before having everyone walk from the middle of a jungle and straight into Saudi Arabia.
There it is, Tongola.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
Tongola. In English it means the city that sneaks up on you when you're not looking. In the city, evil Salah is hanging out smoking a hookah with a hooker.
I'm proud of that joke.
Now pride goes before what?
A fall! Pride goes before a fall!
No! An electrocution.
Evil Salah's partner is Herbert Lom as a Nazi stand-in. He loves Wagner, he eats sausages and he yells. A lot. And gets yelled at. A lot. By Evil Salah. They're basically an old married couple of evil.
This Quatermain will be no problem. So stop quivering at the mention of his name, you Turkish coward.
I have a problem with Quatermain. He considers himself to be a man of principle. And like you, Herr Colonel Buckner, he objects to my meager existence in this miserable town.
So what? He will be no problem for Germany.
We will simply kill him.
Prisoners?
Slaves. For $100 you can own one for life.
$100? That's terrible.
You can always bargain.
Aw, I cost more than that. So having barely escaped from some black guys trying to buy Sharon Stone immediately gets kidnapped by a black guy. Some movies try to break the negative stereotypes, others assume you don't care.
Hey, where are the white women at?
One of the great things about this film is that it took one of the worst elements of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, the irritating, useless blonde American woman, and made her even more useless. Of course, Steven Spielberg could have seen this, copied it, gone back in time and then sneakily made Temple of Doom first, but this seems a bit unfeasible. Anyway, Quatermain takes some time out to assault a local and gives Sharon Stone the time she needs to escape. And she does, via being silly.
A talking rug.
Not to be overly critical, but isn't the roof missing the necessary slope for that to happen?
They kidnapped Sharon Stone because she's a white woman, but not only because she's a white woman. Her father is the doomed archaeologist, Jedediah Houston, a bizarrely American name for an English person. That's like calling an American Alan Quatermain. Which they did, so it all fits. Using Tongola's cleverly placed English language signage, Sharon Stone makes it to the House of Isis, the antique shop where the film began, complete with ethnic villain number 1.
Are you Kazam?
I am Kazam.
Great.
Oh, they're gonna green egg and have it!
True to him being ethnic, and therefore evil, Kazam forgoes his usual genie-based rap performance and instead just tries to kidnap Sharon Stone. I'm thinking this might have less to do with old-fashioned racism and sexism and more to do with Basic Instinct being very popular in this area.
Hey, what are you trying to pull here?
You. He's trying to pull you, and he's about as good at it as Thunderfoot is.
You're discussing your father and a very special man.
Quatermain.
Your entrance was good, his was better.
Where's my father, you cheap-suited camel jockey?
I'm deeply offended.
Foul-headed creep!
I do not know, I swear.
You know what's great about this? Absolutely everyone's a racist. It makes it all morally ambiguous, and therefore better. In fact, I think the only guy who never uses an ethnic slur all film is Chasm. And Sharon Stone's dad, but that's because he's mostly dead for most of the film. Chasm claims that Sharon Stone's dad bought a dodgy local map and headed out to find King Solomon's mines. I personally think it was just a cover for his desire to find a rare butterfly. Besides, he didn't even stock up on ape-killing lasers. He can't have been heading for the mines. Anyway, Quatermain spots a mummy that's not for sale.
Formaldehyde. The Egyptians use natron. This thing is new.
4,000 years old and they call that new.
More like 4 days. It's still wet.
You don't think...
They think it's her dad in there, but it's not. It's her mummy!
Now even you know that you deserve that.
I always deserve that.
Damn right.
It was her father's assistant from the first scene, a man whose most memorable line was, "Ah!"
Rupert?
Rupert!
Kazan, if you don't start talking, I'm gonna start slicing.
No, please, no. No. I have a sick child. Practically blind.
Sharon Stone breaks the porn statue while accidentally assaulting Quatermain, and we discover that it's a map to King Solomon's mines.
This is it, isn't it? This is the map.
Yes, but you ruined it.
You see, keeping it with the mummified body was genius. He knew if anyone discovered either of them, then he'd be in trouble, so he minimized the chances of anyone finding either of them by hiding them together. And he's no more screwed because someone found them both. There's no real point to this. I'm just impressed with his cleverness.
You see, the belly is the plain of Nalog, leading to the twin mountain peaks, the breasts of Sheba.
The world needs more pornographic maps. This, a scene from Gwendolyn, a sketch from The Smell of Reeves and Mortimer, and this bit with Mark Steele talking about Napoleon just can't be enough.
He started going out with a woman called Josephine, as I'm sure many of you know, and he wrote a letter to a friend describing her, in which he said, "She has the prettiest little cunt in the world. The 3 islets of Martinique are there." I have to confess I'm not entirely sure what he meant by that. Makes you want to look at a map of Martinique, though, doesn't it?
Finally, growing tired of being physically and verbally abused, Chasm just pulls a gun, and when Quatermain throws some dynamite, he decides to play fetch.
Seeing you dying is going to give me such pleasure, Quatermain.
I've got it!
It's a good thing Fox News wasn't around then, or the evil suicide bomber that tried to kill 2 innocent American citizens would be played 24/7. For weeks. What's weird is that Evil Sala and Herbert Lom seem to have been holding Sharon Stone's father in the next room. behind a curtain and ungagged. They must have been using one of those fancy sound and explosion blocking curtains I've been hearing about.
Your refusal to talk, your impertinent stubbornness is delaying us. But tomorrow we take the train for the German camp in Barumba, and there I will have only 2 words to say to you. Talk or die.
That's 3 words.
There are 3 words!
If by the time we reach Barumba, you have not revealed the way to the mines, I will peel off your skin, inch by wretched inch.
That sounds familiar. I think they wrote that on my birthday card last year.
Mind if I smoke?
I've got it!
This is why, if it came down to a fight, Alan Quatermain would defeat Indiana Jones. With the power of his mind, he can control the lengths of lit dynamite fuses.
Bobo, come on, come on!
I ain't getting in that damn Jeep, Hannibal.
What's this?
It's a dummy.
He can also control whether the dynamite's real or not. And he can reenact the whole of Django Unchained and Amistad with a single shotgun blast. Sure, he keeps getting innocent bystanders killed, but that's what they're there for.
Give me this gun. Suicide. Scheiße!
But we can't just leave Father here.
Don't worry, I know where they're taking him.
How lucky they immediately made it all the way to the Christian part of town. And then to hundreds of miles south, where Quatermain and Sharon Stone discuss their budding and improbable relationship.
No, I think it's the thought of rescuing the damsel in distress that appeals to you.
Miss Houston.
I'm Richard Chamberlain. At this point in my career, I'm in the most transparent celebrity closet this side of Liberace. You'll have more luck trying to seduce the train in the next scene. In fact, let's all do that.
Oh, your love, so good, so good, so good. I can taste it. Not one.
What follows is a sequence with every train adventure movie trope ever. From the hero losing his hat and mysteriously regaining it, to someone narrowly avoiding being decapitated, to the Germans mistaking Quatermain for the stripper they ordered.
Great reflexes, boys. Yeah, I'm proud of you guys. Well, hey, may I? Let's have some fun!
Though I have to wonder what the German army knows countdown races. That's a little bit like kamikaze pilots knowing Ye Branks and Braes O'Donny Dun, and that's so obscure that I don't even know what that is.
The things you don't know could fill the Grand Canyon.
Will you talk? Will you? Will you? Look what you did.
Reminds me of Christmas 3 years ago. It was happy.
Unless you reveal the way to the mines, I will pluck out your eye and I will crush it underfoot like a grape. I will do this with various parts of your body until you are but a stub.
I miss Lord Ted. Evil Alistair never leaves me a stub.
I don't believe this.
I thought we would have run out of train tropes by now. One thing I don't get is why Alan Quatermain is amazing with dynamite but terrible with guns. It's a bit like adapting Sherlock Holmes and making him amazing with heroin but terrible at solving crimes.
Jack! Go bring me his head.
Wow! Look at this guy. A random Union soldier wandered in and joined the German army. He looks like McClelland and has a hammer. It's Gettysburg Thor.
Cross the rainbow bridge of Asgard, where the booming heavens roar. You'll behold in breathless wonder
After being bested by Thor, Quatermain gives us an impromptu demonstration in the little-known art of train-based water skiing. He could just let go, but that'd mean he'd lose the train and have much less people to kill today.
Now, as a reward for your cooperation, I will ask Sergeant Dorfman to kill you quickly.
Anyway, the film briefly starts stealing train tropes from westerns and has an army of heavily armed Africans attack. Probably led by Idi Amin, when he was a fetus. Now, Umbobo, and yes, that is his real name, has spent most of the trip doing this, before psychically being told there's a Norse god that needs slaying, while we get the obligatory PG-rated rape attempt.
You know, I find you most attractive.
You're a swine.
I wasn't talking to you! I was talking to your father.
Quartermain.
Richard Chamberlain was so far in the closet that he had it written into his contract that he had to shoot any gay characters in the nuts.
Knowing it'll likely be minutes before any other Norse gods turn up, Umbobo takes Sharon Stone's dad to the nearest village, where I assume he dies because we never hear about him ever again. Because Sharon Stone's dad told Evil Salah everything, it's now a race for the mines, because one thing Germany can't be allowed to access is an army of evil, killer apes. This was a serious issue back then. After an industrial strength period of faffing about, Quatermain and Sharon Stone steal a plane. What's great though is even Sharon Stone realizes exactly how useless she is.
My father always wanted a boy. He know how to drive this thing.
She wants to have it mansplained to her by an alternate reality version of herself?
Eventually she moves on to having Quatermain mansplain it to her while hanging from the wing.
Are you absolutely nuts?
She then just loses her mind completely.
I'm driving a car!
Honestly, I would love to see an African adventure movie where the main character isn't white, and or the man is the useless one. Oh, wait, that's Congo. Anyway, this is sillier than Biggles flying the helicopter, but the music is better.
My hands are tied, literally. Could you press the button and turn the music on?
There's a devil has a Schweinhund born.
She's a animal. She knows the spot. Man, she's hot. She's mad crazy. Such a lady.
That's better. The right level of stupid has been achieved. Oh, I get it. As Quatermain climbs in, you can see Sharon Stone was trying to masturbate. Something. Fair enough.
We must cross rivers, climb mountains. Must we listen to this too?
I told you this is Wagner, and I admire his music. Wagner is the greatest composer that ever lived.
You mean he's dead?
Of course.
Allah be praised.
You are an uncultured barbarian.
The plane soon catches up to Evil Salah and Herbert Lom and panics their men, even though the villains were last seen in a couple of train carriages in the middle of the desert without a train. And they're walking. The laws of space and time bend to this movie's will. It's a good thing, too. If they didn't, we'd never have this scene.
Ah, they're coming back. They're coming back. I commanded them to come back here to me, and they're running away. That's all they can do, these primitive cannibals. Running away and eating people and running away. Have you ever seen the German army run away? Well, I ask you, have you? I'll show you.
Who put that bloody elephant there?
Finally, reality catches up on Quatermain and Sharon Stone and the plane crashes, somehow leaving them within sight of their goal.
The Twin Mountain Peaks.
The sexiest matte painting of all time.
The breathless sheep. Now, if you would have crashed between them, we would have been right at the mine.
Okay. Next time we steal a plane, I'll let you crash it.
Not often tits are so prominent in a PG-rated movie. They get captured by the rarest of all things, a naturally occurring 100% homosexual tribe, and they have a taste for man meat. Having never seen a woman before, they just assume that Sharon Stone is Quentin Crisp. One of the few problems I have with this film is the chief of this tribe, he who might or might not be the last remaining member of Grand Funk Railroad. He was in Tongola where he tried to buy Sharon Stone, thus making him the only person from a tribe they came across to be established earlier. But Tongola must be hundreds of miles away and he has no idea how guns work. I guess he could have somehow missed out on guns while learning to drive, but he's the chief of a tribe of cannibals. Surely guns would be useful.
If the film had stuck to its excellent track record of just throwing random tribes at us without rhyme or reason, they could have avoided this problem.
What's wrong?
Jesse, they're having us for dinner.
Well, couldn't we just beg out? I mean, without offending them.
They're not inviting us to dinner. They're having us for dinner.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Apparently, they prefer white meat.
Oh, dear.
Just because you come across a gay cannibal tribe in Africa, you have to make it a racist thing. Quatermain, I am shocked at you. Actually, no, I'm not.
Well, I don't need to die with dignity. I want to scream.
So they created a massive clay pot and managed to import American vegetables. Either the chief was bullshitting but having never seen guns before, or he's about as stupid as Sharon Stone.
Follow me.
Did you find a door?
Anyway, they knock the 18-ton pot over through kicking it from the inside and somehow not putting out the fire. Something the tribesmen find so improbable that they cheer heartily. It's a good thing they rolled down the hill, somehow managing to avoid squashing anyone or breaking their bones because they get to have a pride of lions watch them fuck.
Everything's moving. Good.
I tell you, you look rash with onions in your hair.
Richard Chamberlain's not a bear. He's a lion!
Richard Chamberlain is not gay!
The Germans attack the tribe for less than no reason. I'm glad they waited until Quatermain and Stone had escaped, or they'd be dangerously close to rescuing them right now. So they then get kidnapped by a tribe of near-literal magic Negroes. These guys live upside down, swing from vines, never say a word, give Sharon Stone jewels and clean their clothing. They're like the perfect team of slaves. Their feet never even touch Massa's floor.
I tried that style of housework once. I broke my neck. They all laughed. And they added it to my list of chores.
A bourgeois.
You're welcome.
They must be a bourgeois. Unhappy with the world the way it is, they live upside down, hoping to change it.
That's impractical. Why is everything soft focus at the treetops? It looks like they scooped out Captain Kirk's eyes and filmed the scene with them. And since that it involved time travel, that's just unlikely.
What is it?
The lens flares. They're stunning this time of year.
Maybe they think you're their queen or priestess or something.
This isn't even a big-lipped racist alligator moment because the whole film's pretty darn racist. This is just more racist than usual and really, really weird.
Good shot. Unfortunately, he was on our side.
Thanks for the ride, fellas.
And for the food, and for the clean clothing, and for the jewels, and for the risking your lives for us, and for making us your queens.
Isn't that exactly like that other statue?
I really can't tell. You're not showing the tits.
They want to show us the way to the mine.
Now, you'd be forgiven for thinking this was the same tribe that tried to eat them, but no. This is a third massive tribe living literally meters from each other. Kind of like how you could see Tenochtitlan from your house in ancient Rome. I know that's not quite accurate, but it would be if the ancient peoples of the world had been sensible and watched this before making their cities and...
Well, shut up.
See? Every time you insult the film, it bites back.
Rita Repulsa doesn't usually turn up.
Rita had Quatermain tied upside down in an easily escapable situation involving an overly elaborate and exotic death. Involving crocodiles. While Sharon Stone is held by a local Misfits tribute band.
Oh, please don't kill him. Please. I love him.
Why do you think melted Tina Turner can speak English? Typical Sharon Stone. Walk into this tribe's land and interfere with their traditional green screen ceremonies and assume they speak English. So, Umbobo appears. Via a smoke bomb, and reveals that he is in fact the long-lost king of this tribe.
Holy mackerel!
He also reveals that he can teleport via smoke. A very important thing for a king.
You're gonna be sorry when he gets to you.
I am Twala, the rightful ruler of the Kufuanas.
Now you might think that Umbobo suddenly turning up makes no sense. And you'd be right.
That's why we photoshopped him into these scenes. Maybe it'll make the sudden appearance a little less unlikely. See, movie? I'm helping. Having taken control of the tribe, it's now time for the villains to arrive. They've just embraced their destiny and taken to massacring any African people they come across. Anyway, the ceremonial guard drag Sharon Stone away.
Wait, why are they dragging Sharon Stone away?
Well, the movie's racist and sexist. Who else are they going to drag away?
James Earl Jones.
Shut up!
The ceremonial guard sneak badly sunburnt Paula Deen into the mountain, and you know, with their makeup, they just look like mildly surprised skulls. And upon spotting Alan Quatermain, Evil Sal remembers why they're there.
Quatermain!
Idiot! Forget Quatermain! Let's go for the mines!
No! This way!
Nice of Umbobo to make saving the white people his first act as chief of the village, especially since the village is currently being massacred by white people. And yes, there is always quicksand, which is well known to negatively affect Germans' shooting ability.
Stop them! Kill them! Fire!
I read that somewhere.
I'm happy. No more Wagner.
Forward!
We're all going to get killed!
Now, Herr Colonel Bockner, follow me.
Evil Sala is pretty much playing Takashi's Castle in God mode, until he gets shot by Herbert Lom anyway. They knew that one of them would kill the other, and Herbert won the toss. I think the old crone might be a white woman under lots and lots of dried mud, but that's not that much weirder than a Welshman playing a Turk, or Richard Chamberlain playing a heterosexual. Oh, I think I know what she's doing. Her post-rule retirement plan is to grab Sharon Stone and, through the magic of this, make her glow. A Sharon Stone-shaped nightlight could net her millions. With her screeching and laughter, she's like a weird human-sized Salacious Crumb to an invisible Jabba the Hutt. Which doesn't help her any when Umbobo and Quatermain kill her guards. This is officially the point where killer apes would be useful. Anyway, Umbobo and Quatermain rescue Sharon Stone and chase the evil woman further into the mines. For reasons.
I confess, I'm not really sure why they can't just leave her alone to die in there.
Ah yes, old ladies leaping into lava sets off volcanic eruptions while 5 men falling in does nothing. I'm so glad this film is here to teach me about volcanology. And in an earlier scene teach me about the fact that white women are encased in crystal in Africa.
Sheba, first of the queens, you are so like her.
Every time I think the racism can't get any bigger, it has a growth spurt.
They're not satisfied with having Africans kidnap white women at every opportunity, so instead they have dead white women kept in symbolic prisons. In perfect condition. Because they're hot. These same women were the great, legendary rulers of the tribe before the evil African woman took over. The racism here is like a massive spider web, so many different connecting pieces, each grabbing a hold of the poor victimized group so they can be eaten by the merciless, I'm going to say Hollywood monster, which destroys your ability to enjoy the film. I'm so glad that that scene was there to dramatize my thoughts as I spoke about them. Aren't you going to electrocute me for being negative about the movie?
Honestly, you have a point.
This tribe literally lost the ability to create amazing technological things like badass traps and random floor lighting in their pirate booty room around the time they stopped being white somehow. Or at least stopped being led by white people.
Quatermain! Quatermain! Are you dead?
Yes. Yes, he is. So Quatermain and Sharon Stone get trapped in the treasure room, complete with a slowly lowering ceiling. We could learn a thing or two from the ancients. They're always creating things that last for thousands of years.
Water. Looks like they thought of everything.
The last time we tried to build one of those rooms, it lasted a weekend. It got clogged up with pieces of people, and I got to clean it out.
Quatermain! I love you, Quatermain!
I love you so much, I don't even need to know your first name. Herbert Lom saves them, and in case you were wondering, this trap was connected directly to the Victoria Falls. I say was because the water stopped flowing in for some reason. Also, the set's dry and the jewels didn't move. What? Did you think Solomon couldn't build a treasure room with floor lighting that survived a dynamiting that wouldn't dry out in seconds? You think magic jewels are beyond him in his mind? If so, I am sickened.
Me too.
So assuming that Quatermain is dead and Sharon Stone is useless, which is a fair assumption, Herbert Lom fills his pockets with jewels, but there's a twist.
You think you kill me? Old Turkish invention.
Mithril.
Evil Salah has Lom fill his pockets, even more, and swallow as many diamonds as he can before the upcoming eruption buries the room. And Evil Salah.
Move, you German pig!
This is where the old lady jumped into the lava, by the way. I'm not showing this in the right order.
But I will not shoot you. I will bury you alive. Only this time, you better die properly.
Stay where you are. You have diamonds. Take them out. In here.
Come get him yourself.
It's not even like the marking warning about the trap wasn't obvious. It's a blood stain. Oh, and robotic big-lipped alligator death scene. So when Bobo forces them to leave the diamonds because they belong to the mountain.
The diamonds belong to the mountain.
And they run for it, but not before Quatermain has to have the obligatory invincible Mano battle with Evil Salah. Could you help me out, please? He even continues the fight while burning to death. Like Rasputin and Blackbeard, he's almost invincible. Honestly, I think a study needs to be made into the protective powers of thick black beards. Even Quatermain using wood to pole vault through lava couldn't dampen my spirits after that. But I can think of one small improvement. They should have had the charred skeleton of Evil Salah leap on Quatermain as he left the cave. Maybe he could have been broken in half and then chucked inside as the entrance got sealed off. But as niggles go, that's fairly small. Anyway, happy ending as the suddenly not dead tribe were a bit sheepish about trying to kill them off earlier. Both Quatermain and Sharon Stone have made off with diamonds, but chose possibly the worst place to reveal it.
Well, I thought you and your father should come out of this with, something.
Well, I won't feel guilty if you won't.
And then someone in the tribe turned their head 45 degrees and they were killed for stealing the diamonds that they were told to leave. This isn't a perfect movie, but if you can get past the massive issues, it's a fun and very silly romp. Chamberlain shouldn't work as Alan Quatermain, but sorta, kinda manages it. A bit. Sharon Stone is brilliant as a woman who's written to be as irritating as possible, so she's irritating as hell. Good work, Sharon. Herbert Lom and John Rhys-Davies' characters would have had more luck if they'd just given in to their love-hate relationship and spent the whole movie rocking every Casbah in Tongola. But there wouldn't be a movie then. Hello, me.
Oh. Hello?
You shouldn't look so scared. I'm probably the only one who wouldn't hit ya. Though I have to say, seeing others do it does annoy me greatly. I've managed to open a pinprick in the walls between our realities to let you know this, me. All of you white-faced motherfuckers through there, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna royally fuck your shit up. Not immediately. Probably next season, but I will.
Oh yeah? You and what army?
You've never seen my show, have you? Look me up. Ah, shit, the signal's fading! Listen, me, I promise I'm gonna help you. I fucking promise!